I haven't done kingdom yet. You ready?
Recording is in progress.
Recording is in progress. No matter who you are, no matter where you are on life's journey, we're here. We're here.
Welcome to the table.
We will begin with our testimony. I'll whistle for it once.
Thank you.
Since we don't have a piano. Whoops. Sharing what God has done for you, telling what Jesus done for me, believing the Spirit is at work, giving our testimony. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. Look, so it's like slow. Long time ago, God spoke throughout the land, leading the people to the by the hand. Today in our world, God is speaking once again, calling us to claim the mighty kingdom, sharing what God has done for you, telling what Jesus done for me, believing the Spirit is at work, giving our testimony. God is present in our hearts and our lives, so others may go and see with their eyes. Tell the love of God and of Jesus His Son. Listen to others, the story is one. Sharing what God has done for you, telling what Jesus done for me, believing the Spirit is at work, giving our testimony. Tell me your story and I'll tell you mine. God changed the world, turned the darkness to light. Jesus comes in our moment of need, as a friend or a mother or a stranger indeed. Sharing what God has done for you, telling what Jesus done for me, believing the Spirit is at work, giving our testimony. Joy is ours in the stories we share. We learn about actions, believe in God's care. Jesus our Christ, God love flows in the church and through the Spirit we grow. Sharing what God has done for you, telling what Jesus done for me, believing the Spirit is at work, giving our testimony.
Start a moment of quiet. Guard us through the night.
And then quiet the powers of darkness.
The Spirit of God lead and guide.
Lead us to peace and to glory.
It is that last window that we feast to rise up early or so late to take rest. I eat the bread and anxiety.
God gives gifts even while we sleep.
Dear brothers and sisters, our hope is in the name of the eternal God,
who is making heaven and the earth.
Spirit of living God,
we are, have been, and shall be known to you, to the very secret of our hearts, and all that rises to trouble us. Bring into us, cleansing wind, blow through us, fountain of water, well up within us, that we may love and praise in deed and in truth. Amen.
Let God grant us grace and bless us. Let God make his face shine upon us, so that your way becomes known, so that your salvation becomes known to all the nations. Let the people thank you. Let all of them. Let the people celebrate and shout with joy, because you judge the nations fairly. God of all the nations. Let the people thank you. Let all the people thank you. The earth has yielded its harvest. God blesses us. Let God blesses us. Let God continue to bless us. Let the far ends of the earth be.
Gratitude. I've done lots of church camps and overnights and all of that, and confirmation classes, and I try to get the kids to think of, how do we build ourselves up? So I started a long time ago, started making them write things they like about themselves, things they like to do, and just to okay, yeah, I'm not good at that, or I'm not good at this, or, I hate doing that, but here are things I like to do. And after some time in confirmation classes, and even some of the other leaders at the camps were like, I should do this. And after a while, after I've been teaching this for a decade or two, I was like, maybe I should be doing this. Those who don't do teach, right? Grateful, and their Butler Bass. She started writing this right after this. She had this plan that she was going to write this. This is going to be the next book on being grateful and giving thanks, the power of giving thanks. And she started this right after Trump won the election. So how did she do about this? Well, she writes about the struggles. But she writes in here that strange thing about gratitude is it always comes from a preposition, something we are grateful for, grateful to someone, and often grateful with others. Even in untargeted gratitude, and when you're completely alone, prepositions show up. Imagine you need to get away, perhaps to struggle with a decision or grief. During the winter, a friend loans you her beach house. It is off season and you're alone. One morning, you wake up and walk to the water's edge. The sun is rising, colors shimmer off the waves, painting them shades of blue, pink, and silver, unlike you've ever seen. And all of a sudden, your heart opens up. You feel grateful for the beautiful sunrise, grateful to your friend, and grateful with the soaring seabirds. There are no other human beings, but you experience gratitude. And surprisingly enough, you also make community. In that moment, no matter how isolated ashore, gratitude comes to you in nature's rhythm, to a distant friend and other creatures. The sun and sea offer their gifts indiscriminately, as they always do, but you still say thanks to them, to your friend, perhaps even to God. Brene Brown, in another book that I read, You know, and she talked about resilience and how do we hang on when the world seems to be falling apart? How do we hang on when we turn on the news? And she found through her research, through all her studies, that it really is gratitude. It's not avoiding all the hard decisions. It's not even if you could take all of your people that you just don't like and get them to change and do what you want. Politicians, all the religious leaders, whatever. You're not going to be that satisfied. Your life it's going to clear away the clutter, but it's not going to raise your spirits. We'll just find something else to complain about. But she found that one of the things that keeps people going, especially she talked about those who are struggling for social change, those who are working to try to build a better world, that those who don't cultivate gratitude burn out pretty quickly. Even last fall, a few of us from this community went down and listened to David Hogg, who is one of the Parkland shooters and our survivors, Parkland survivors, yes. And he talked about how for the next 2 years he was on 24/7 until he burned out, and he said, "Thank God I had the family and the friends left to still pull me through that." He said, so he said, yes, show up to the council meetings, show up to the legislature, write to your congressman, show up and protest, but find something. He says, for me, it's cooking. I always make sure I have time during the week to cook, and that's my pressure release, and that's the way I restore my gratitude. And so she writes, this is Brene Brown, call me a qualitative researcher, and I'm starting to see a trend here. It appears that many emotions are good for us. Joy, contentment, and gratitude, to name a few, have appreciation in common. There is overwhelming evidence that gratitude is good for us physically and emotionally and mentally. There's research that shows that gratitude is correlated with better sleep, increased creativity, decreased entitlement, decreased hostility and aggression, increased decision-making skills, decreased blood pressure. The list goes on. The list is persuasive, and I've read countless research articles and books on gratitude, but I still struggle to understand exactly why it helps so much until I read this by Robert Emmons. Robert Emmons is a leading scientific expert on gratitude. How do you figure that out? I don't know. He is professor of psychology
He's got his PhD in that.
at the University of California, Davis, and founding editor of the Journal of Positive Psychology. There you go. He writes, research on emotion shows that positive emotions wear off quickly. Our emotional system likes newness. They like novelty. They like change. We adapt to the positive life circumstances so that before too long, the new car, the new spouse, the new house, they don't feel new and exciting anymore. But gratitude makes us appreciate the value of something. When we appreciate the value of something, we extract more benefits from it. We're less likely to take it for granted. In effect, I think gratitude allows us to participate more in life. We notice the positives more. That magnifies the pleasure you get from life. Instead of adapting to goodness, we celebrate goodness. We spend so much time watching things, movies, computer screens, sports. But with gratitude, we become greater participants in our lives as opposed to spectators. The two lines that resonate with my research are, instead of adapting to goodness, we celebrate goodness. We become greater participants in our lives as opposed to spectators. Now there is a song that comes from a verse that Paul writes at the end of one of his letters, and it's not a particularly good letter. You know, most of Paul's letters are are pretty shape up, ship out, get your act together, but at the end, even though he knows the early church community is going through persecution and isolation, is going through grief because they're leaving their other communities, they're being shunned, they're just being, crapped upon, basically by everybody. But he says, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. So I remember, anybody know that one? Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice again, I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice again, I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always, again I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always, again I say rejoice. Now that's a nice round of a song we can do. So we'll do this side and we'll do that side, and we're going to pass out sheets. And when I was at a retreat, pastor's retreat, my spiritual director who lives in Chicago, Martha Brunel, she had all these clergy that have been in, and she handed out these sheets, and he said, okay, your assignment for this afternoon is to fill out these sheets. This has 94 things on it, and it's called Sheet of Gratitude. So I want you to fill out 50 of them tonight. Fill out 50 of them. Things you are grateful for, people, places, events, talents, groups, animals, everything and anything that you are grateful for. So let's do 50 and see how quickly we can do it, and if some are quicker than the others, as we said, tell me, sharing what God has done for you, tell me what God has done for me. Yeah. All right, so we will pass these out in pencils. So we will start over here. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice.
Is it all right to write the same thing twice?
Sure.
Why not?
Means you're doubly gratitude.
Peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter.
Like when we quit.
Stop at 50. Oh, you only did half the side.
So you only did.
Oh, you did half that, half that. Oh, okay.
I don't follow her. Are we correcting these things?
Yes.
There will be a quiz.
Almost below 50. Get out of here. Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Dang overachievers.
Well, if you are done, and if you want to share with the rest of us to inspire us.
I have a lot of names. God, Spirit, Son. Phil, Ben, Abby, Leland, Martha, Ann, Miss Dersham. That's what I'm calling Martha's. And Bruce. Dersham.
Oh, I love that.
Strider, Scout, Winston, Sue, Nancy, Mary Ellen, Suzanne, Spirit, Willimus, David, Chris, Eric, Patsy, Lycan, Rocks, Balsam, Grass, Dirt, Rain, Snow, Puddles, Boots, Greta, Buff, Diane, Carl, Nina, Carolyn, Kate, Kevin, Helen, Karen, Kay, Patty, Sean, Julie, Nichols.
I love it.
Don't have to do all 50. Anything else want to share?
It's really bad that I got 23 before I remembered my grandchildren. Oh, yeah. Poor children.
We're not taping this lately.
You're allowed to renumber them.
They gotta draw lots of circles and arrows.
Oh, yeah, that's, we're a very liberal church.
Climate, love God, love health, my beloved. Sun, moon, rain, shining, shimmering water, Lake Superior, Tiff, Tracy, Casey, Toby, Elizabeth, Richard, Stephen, laughter, children, our earth, diversity, friends, Grand Ray, spirit room, shepherd, and kindness, grace, God's promise, trees, forests, sparkles and snow, hugs, snuggles, our eyes, spring flowers, lakes, community. All of you. Give thanks for all of you. I give thanks that we come together. I think that's so wonderful. That's what it's all about.
Yep. You said true.
Yeah, but I meant to be specific with Congo and that we're always welcome and the asterisk footnote down at the bottom. Yeah.
Make sure the footnote's in the right form.
Yes. Library approved. PhDs. Anyone else want to share?
Anything surprise you in this? I told you what surprised me, that I didn't get to a cringe. Maybe because they're always number one, and so you hold it here without having to put it down. Nothing like covering your ass.
Good answer.
That's all right.
I wrote clothes.
Huh?
I wrote clothes.
Oh!
I'm thankful for clothes.
Oh, yeah. I put health. Because we are so fortunate to have. Yes. And enough to eat.
I put
But you.
Scotch. Of course, all the weather that we have up there, Buffalo, family events, which I actually started moving around the neighborhood.
Grouping, I love it.
You know, it's been really my systems, which is education for the history, achievement, looking at Monaco and that's what the water is now. Humor.
How about I miss that one?
I put curly losses.
I was kind of struck by how, you know, when you're doing it, just, you know, quick,
Yep.
that it comes out fairly general, you know, and then with each one, boy, you could just drill down and be very specific, you know. In this moment, what is it about, you know, my husband and my daughter and my grandchildren, which were up at the top, but what do I want to say about them today?
How about birds? I have birds.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I mean,
I
I
love
just-
birds. Migrating birds too.
Or wildlife, because it's like, okay, do I say?
And what is it
Not seagulls.
exactly about them? Yeah.
Not seagulls.
Yes.
Oh, they're nice.
I like
They
seagulls.
fly it so beautifully.
That's okay, we have herring gulls here though.
Is it because it's guano or what? No, why not seagulls?
They do harm wherever they go, droppings.
Oh, guano. Oh, the guano.
All summer it's a battle. That need not be discussed at this stage.
So that's not on your thankful list.
No, I didn't put much down, but you know, I just thinking, looking around here, all the people at this table, and I know most of you. And I'm thinking, you know, I should have put all your names down, because whenever I run into those faces in the community, I always find that there's, wherever they are, there's always something good happening. And that goes for all of you. I mean, when I see you there, I know there's something wonderful going on, and I feel comfortable there. So,
That's how we feel about you, Thomas. That's wonderful.
You know, one thing that struck me, and just in thinking about this, I would think all of us were really worried before the election that our democracy was going to go down the tubes. And that didn't happen, and things turned out differently, and you kind of say, wow, great, and then you can't remember. Right. You know what I mean? It's so easy to forget those good things that happen. Because I think it's a part of it is that the news is always like, breaking news, it's terrible, you know what I mean? Everybody can forget. Really wonderful.
We have anybody joining us, Steve?
What's that? No,
No, okay.
just us here.
Just us
kids.
here. All right. I was gonna ask them if they wanted to share something, but. So,
Carl,
I want to share, not reading this, but so I do this morning meditation thing. And we captured, there are 40 of us on silent meditation. They say, greet one another with a word from your heart. And I always say gratitude. That's been my thing for 2 years now. I say gratitude. And it wasn't time, that was sort of weird. And that's when I said, a lot of people say everywhere. And I think gratitude, just as a general approach to things, is really important. It doesn't have to be for, to, or with. It can just be an approach or a lens or something.
An attitude.
Yeah, attitude of gratitude over that. We should write that down. That's good.
is that a platitude?
bumper
Attitude-
sticker.
Platitude, attitude of gratitude. And then I also use the New Zealand Anglican prayer as a closing line.
So,
Think about the poor folks that really cannot come up with any, for which is great.
Have you met someone like that?
Yes. Yeah.
At a nursing home, there's always one in the nursing home with us. Cannot be happy no matter what.
Well, I was in January, South Africa, traveling around a little bit, and there was one of the things I noticed was almost all the white people I talked to were crazy, and almost all the black people I talked to become way less stuff. Like, oh yes, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it wonderful? It's not about
So we'll keep this, continue to fill it
I
out.
got one more. And the rest singing.
Yeah.
And keep this near your bedstand. Keep this in your bathroom drawer, and when you're getting ready in the morning, pull it out, or when you're brushing your teeth at night, pull it out. This is one of the things that will, no matter if good things happen or bad things happen, and as it will be, that everything will happen. Good and bad will continue to happen, but we can ground ourselves in gratitude and rejoice in the Lord always. Again, Paul says, rejoice. Amen.
Amen. Moment too, is let some of what we've written and some of what we've heard from each other sort of settle. Perhaps allowing one word or a phrase to settle out. Something to think of you. Pray together.
Eternal Spirit, Earth Maker, Life Bearer, Life Giver, Source of all that is and all shall be, Father and Mother of us all, loving God in this heaven, the hallowing of your name echo through the universe. The way of your justice be followed by the peoples of the world. Your heavenly will be done by all created beings. Your commonwealth of peace and freedom sustain our hope and come on our honor. With the bread we eat for today, feed us. In the hurts we absorb from one another, forgive us. In times of temptation and test, strengthen us. From trials whose rage to endure, spare us. From the grip of all that is evil, free us. For you reign, glory, power, and love, now and forever. Amen.
Be our light in the darkness, and in your great mercy, defend us from all perils, dangers, and harm. For the love of your only Son, Savior Jesus.
Amen.
Be present, merciful God, and protect us through the hours of this night, so that we who are wearied by the changes and chances of this life may rest in your eternal changelessness. Through Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Keep watch, dear Lord, with those who work, or watch, or read this night, and give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend the sick, Lord Christ. Give rest to the weary, bless the dying, soothe the suffering, free the afflicted, shield the joyous, and all who will love.
Amen.
Lord, it is with you.
The night is forsaken us. Let us
us be still in the presence of God. What has been done has been done. What has not been done has not been done. Let it be. Let our fears of the darkness of the world and our own lives rest in you. Let the quietness of your peace enfold us, all dear to us, and all who have no peace. Let us look expectantly to a new day, new joys, new possibilities. In your name we pray. Amen.
The shalom of God, the wildness and the work of God, the rest, coolness, power, divine spirit, dwell with me.
Thanks be to God.
Well, next week should be a little more up in the air for the reason because our youth group will be joining us. It could be anywhere between 6 and 12 youth. And they will be eating here before, so they get done with practice. They're gonna be eating here to pizza, and then hopefully we'll figure out if we're doing art with colors, how we're gonna have that set up.
We're gonna do a new way to pray using some colors and stuff.
Yeah, so we'll.
And then maybe we should do compliment at the end of that.
Yep, that's fine.
What was the last one, Marion?
We'll do compliment at the end next month.
Shall I stop recording?
Yeah, you can, yes. Unless you have something to say. No, just.